Hello everybody, welcome to day number 9, the start of the semi-finals for our 6th custom drag race tournament. Our first group has Il Toppo, Big Six, Robocop, and Albino Rhino. Il Toppo, I believe, is the only one that is not undefeated right now, and 2 more are about to join that list, and it looks like it'll be Robocop and Albino Rhino, as Big Six takes the win, finishing with 3:02. Big Six currently holds the speed record with a 2.97 that they pulled off back on day 5. So far, I don't think anybody's been able to beat it yet. And it's been very difficult for most racers to even finish below 3 seconds, let alone get the fastest time. And from what I understand, Big Six is actually a racer representing Blue Line Racing, the dominant champion of most recent tournaments that we've had. And you can definitely see why, as Big Six takes the lead yet again in race number 2, getting the 2nd consecutive win, so they will stay undefeated, at least for now. Finishing again with a 3:02. You can usually get an idea of how fast some of these racers are and how well they're going to do, at least in the first few legs, but once some of the faster racers start competing against each other, things can get a lot more interesting. Here we go, one more win will seal the deal for Big Six. The race begins. Big Six starts off with a lead and already a length or 2 ahead by the time they get to the bottom of the slope. And it looks like they started to derail a little bit, but they only started doing so as they got close to crossing the finish line, and somehow they ended up finishing faster that time. Not by much, but still. You take a look at this. Just as they crossed the finish line, their front wheel went over the side. Hopefully that doesn't do any damage to the vehicle that can affect their racing overall. One race left. Let's see how it plays out. It's looking pretty good for Big Six and Il Toppo. The final race begins. Big Six pulls away once again, the other 3 staying pretty close together, but Il Toppo is edging the other 2 out. And Big Six's final time for now is 2.99. They are still undefeated, still holding on to the fastest time. They are looking for the hat trick if they can pull off the overall victory for the entire tournament. A phenomenal performance, and a threat to be reckoned with, at least by the rest of the competition. So Il Toppo will be joining Big Six in the finals. Now for our second group, and we will have Benny Blanco, Willie G, Iceman, and Jack Thunder. All 4 of them are undefeated right now, and 3 of them are about to lose that distinction. And it looks like it could be Iceman or Benny Blanco taking the win. We'll have to check the times. And they finished around the same time, but it looks like Iceman is going to be given the win. We'll have to see if the judges will say they finished at the same time, or if they'll go by what the timer said. But the timer at least is giving it to Iceman. So we'll have to check and see what they say. And they are going to give it to Iceman. So Iceman remains undefeated for the time being, but that was about as close as you can get, so I would not hold my breath at this point. Race number 2 begins. Benny Blanco, I'm sure, is not too thrilled about how that played out. And we had almost a 3-way tie this time around, with Willie G throwing themselves into the mix. In fact, they all finished at 3.11, but again, the timer is giving it to Iceman. They may just give 3 points to the other 2 and give 5 to Iceman, but again, we'll have to check with the judges. You can't get much closer than that, that's for sure. And that's exactly what they did. Willie G and Benny Blanco both get 3, Iceman gets 5 and remains undefeated for now. But they are winning by the slimmest of margins, and they are falling behind this time around. I believe Benny Blanco is going to get the victory this time. That was a more distinct victory, and sure enough, that's what it was. But Iceman still tied with somebody. So that means no one out of this group is coming out of it remaining undefeated. Well, Iceman's still tied with Willie G now. So it's not clear-cut at this point who is going to be moving on. Jack Thunder is going to be struggling a little bit. The other three, it could be anyone's game. We'll have to see what happens. Benny Blanco has the slight edge for the moment. Can they hold on to it? I think they did. Take a look at the timer, 3:09. And for some reason, this is a rare sight indeed. I believe every single race in this heat, Iceman tied with at least one other person. But Benny Blanco managed to get that win. So we'll see who's moving on. It's going to be Benny Blanco and Iceman. Willie G was ever so close, but the two first place by Benny Blanco sealed the deal. The third group has Deuce, CJ, Karate Joe, and Mr. 615. The race begins. It looks like CJ has a lead, but can they hold on to it? I'm not sure if they did. I think they might have lost it just as they got there. And that seems to be the case, because he did finish at 3.10. But so did, I believe that's Mr. 615, who finished ever so slightly before them. And the timer is giving it to them, so like with Iceman, they're probably going to get the 5 points. Oh, that's Deuce, my apologies. Deuce is the person who won, so they will remain undefeated for now. But anything could happen given how close these races have been so far. Deuce back out in the lead, but here, yet they lost it at the last second this time. They are going back and forth as much as you can by the smallest of gaps. It's important to build up speed, but then once you get on the flat ground, you want to do your best to maintain all that speed. Losing any of it, as we see now, could be the absolute difference between moving on and being eliminated. But now CJ and Deuce are tied for first in points. Now let's see if CJ can win again, or if it's going to go to Deuce or somebody else entirely. And it looks like Deuce is going to get the edge, followed closely by CJ. Both of them finishing around 3.10, but I would definitely say Deuce had a clearer finish in terms of finishing first. But these have been the most consecutive close races I think I've ever seen. A lot of photo finishes, to be sure. If it wasn't for that timer, it would be a lot more difficult. But it's looking very good for CJ and Deuce up to this point. But no one is coming out of this undefeated. And here we go. Deuce has the lead for the moment, but it looks like CJ is starting to pull in front. I think they might have had it. I'm not entirely sure on that one. But the timer is giving it to Deuce. I honestly thought CJ was starting to pull in front, but I guess not quite. But it doesn't change the fact that both CJ and Deuce will be moving on after that finish, considering how back and forth these races were. And now for the fourth and final group of today. We have Kila Kowalsski, Puff, Willie G again, and Arlo. The race begins, and it looks like Kila Kowalsski is pulling away now, followed closely by Arlo. A much clearer victory compared to some of the other groups that have raced today. 3:03, still no one has been able to beat Big Six's time of 2.97. If you can finish around 3 seconds, that's good. If you can finish under 3 seconds, that's really good. So this is at least a good start for Kila Kowalsski. And Arlo is not too far behind in terms of overall points, but that's only been one race. Things could definitely switch up over these next three. Race begins. Kila Kowalsski had a solid start. Arlo seemed to have the lead for just a moment, but as they say, easy come, easy go. 3:04 this time for Kila Kowalsski. In most of these other packs we've seen run today, at least 2 people tied for first or at least finished around the same time. But this group is more clear-cut. So one more win will seal the deal for Kila. And while it's not guaranteed for Arlo if they finish in second, it's definitely gonna help. Kila Kowalsski now about a length or 2 away from Arlo, who finishes in second, and Kila Kowalsski grabs that 3rd consecutive win with a 3:02. So they are going to move on, and it's looking pretty solid for Arlo. I believe before these races began, all 4 of them were undefeated as well. But Kila Kowalsski is the only person that can remain so now. But even if they don't at this point, they're still going to move on. And Puff, at the very least, might have a shot if they can finish near the front and have something happen to Arlo. But it doesn't look like that'll happen, but Puff is making one last ditch effort. I don't think they could pass Arlo though. So at this point, it will be Kila Kowalsski and Arlo taking the last 2 spots, at least today. The other half of the semifinals will be filled in the next video. But here we have the final 2 joining the first half of that roster. That being Arlo and Kila Kowalsski. Puff and Willie G were so close though. But there you have the first half of the finals. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you next time.